So Lois, are we recording now?
Yeah, of course we are, yeah.
Oh, but brilliant. Lois said to me in the car, she said, can we listen to Jolene because it's on Spotify? I said, of course you can. She's like, Daddy, I think that Dolly Parton is talking about you. She said the singer, you are the man in the song. I was like, all right. And she said, the woman singing is Mummy.
Oh.
And I said, oh.
She's got it.
And I said, well, who's Jolene then? And she said, Granddad Ken.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, Jolene, Jolene.
Welcome to Nerdschatting, movie, TV, comic chat. Thanks for tuning in.
Okay, I think is it something like welcome everybody to the Nerdschatting podcast. God. My name's James.
This is definitely the way to start 2020. Leaving this one in the edit. Yeah. Welcome everybody to the Nerdschatting podcast. My name is Nate, and with me are my two very good friends who like to disturb the opening as much as possible, don't you, boys? Ben and James.
No. And hello, yes.
Hello.
Hi, Happy New Year, everyone.
Hello, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
We're
everyone.
not doing that anymore, are we? That's the last time we're ever going to say that now this year, right?
Yeah, we're done.
Can I say, good point, you make a very valid point, is that people are at work are emailing me and saying Happy New Year to me.
Oh my
At
God.
what point is it unacceptable to say Happy New Year to someone?
Next week.
Next week?
Yes.
Someone else said that. Agreed. Sold?
Well, it's the 8th today. It's already the second week of the year, so I would say as of the 2nd.
You're like yesterday. Yeah. Like before now.
Okay.
Yeah,
I might continue it and for every person that
Just
I...
every time you
Yeah,
the
everyone
first
I
Or
have-
throughout the year.
Yeah, well, if I haven't seen someone and it's the first time I've seen them in February, I'd be like, Happy New Year.
In 2 weeks' time, when we record another podcast, there might be listeners who didn't listen to this one, so we'll have to wish them a happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year to them as well.
Oh my God.
I promise I won't do it.
Yeah. So for context, for anyone that's just joining us, we are the Nerds Chatting. We talk about all things nerdy, movies, TV shows, comic books, and everything else. We normally have a topic of some sort for our podcast, but this is kind of a welcome back before the new year. In December, we had a lot of news we didn't talk about, and a lot of trailers because a massive movie came out.
Our last podcast was literally just us talking about Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker and how much you hated it.
Hate is a strong word.
It is a strong word.
Also, the word you used.
I did.
I don't think he hated it.
And I thoroughly enjoyed it the second
And now
time.
thoroughly enjoyed it the second time.
And-
As with all Jake and Nathan's Star Wars
exactly.
watches, he watches it once, he doesn't like it, and he moans about it on a podcast, then he watches it again, and then he loves it.
Do you think then, Ben, that we need to be a little bit more sort of on the ball with this and learn from past mistakes? So, the rules for this year are, if we watch a film with Nate for the first time, we don't do a podcast with him until he's watched it a second time.
What if he doesn't like it? You mean?
Well, yes.
That's an interesting concept, James. I have an alternative theory.
Go on.
Why don't we just start our own podcast and cut this jerk out? Hey.
Yeah, okay then.
Seems fair.
I need to practice my intros then.
Yeah. Well, look, I think it's, we're not talking about Rise of Skywalker, okay? But I think
Oh, no, we're not. No, we've reviewed that. Go back and check our last podcast.
I think once I'm over plot holes, I just go past them when I watch
Yeah.
it again. So that's why I like it more the
You
second time.
take you take your serious hat off and you put your fun hat on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so rare, right?
It's a bit like Wars of Gummidge. You
Very
know when he used to
rare.
change his heads?
There was a new Wars coming over
Yes.
Christmas.
Yeah, I know.
With
Oh my
Gareth
God, it
from
was
The Office.
Yeah, it was.
dreadful.
Was it?
Well, people said
Who are these people? Point them out to
that
me.
I know you.
Okay.
They said it was dreadful. There are other people that said it was absolutely brilliant, but very scary.
Yeah, I didn't. No.
Okay, fine. Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas. So normally on this podcast we have three sections. We have Broken News, where we talk about the news that's so old it's already broken, it's no longer breaking. We have Nerdscene, which I'll explain when we get to it.
Yeah,
and then we normally have a topic. But I really think that this week we've got so much in Broken News and Nerdscene that I think we'll just do that, shall we?
Yeah.
Our opinions of stuff.
Yeah.
What's on?
It's basically the dishwasher.
I wonder if that's going to get picked up. Do we care?
No,
I don't care.
no, I think it adds
Is this a
ambience.
professional podcast?
No.
Not at all.
Not in a kitchen.
Not in a kitchen. No.
Oh, don't give the game away. We're recording in your kitchen.
This isn't a kitchen, JB. This is a family room.
Oh, it is a family room.
Oh,
Oh, brilliant.
that's
Now it's
gonna get
beeping,
picked
but
up.
that's a good sign because that means it's finished. Hang on a minute.
He's just going to get into a job.
I love that we haven't got to this podcast yet. We are so off the rails.
I'll fix this in the edit. It's
Will
fine.
you?
Don't worry about
Don't
it.
cut the beginning bit out. I really like that beginning bit. It's really funny.
I might make some changes.
No,
it's fine.
leave it.
I am back. Just opened the dishy and turned him off.
Yeah.
Oh, have you got one of those dishwashers that the controls are on the as you open it up, it's on the top?
Yes.
Yeah, we've got that as well, so the kids can't press any buttons and
Yeah,
stop.
they love pushing buttons. Them
Yeah,
kids.
see, you've got to consider these things when you've got children, Nathan.
Part of me wants to leave this in the podcast, and part of me thinks this is the least gripping audio I have ever heard in my life.
Well,
Because you're wearing a cardigan.
It's not. It's I suppose it is a bit.
Yeah.
Cardigan-y. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. A little bit. Yeah.
Cardi.
Broken news.
Yes. Is it broken?
It's broken.
And it's news.
And it's news.
Yes.
Broken news.
So this is for you guys completely because I didn't watch The Boys season 1, even though I hear it's very good. There was a trailer for The Boys season 2. Thoughts?
Ben?
I thought it looked very snappy.
Yes.
And it's one of the reasons why I was so interested in watching The Boys, the first season of The Boys, because there's very little. In fact, I think there's like no dialogue, apart from maybe a couple of swear words here and there. Mm-hmm. And it's like beat, 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 action, violence, things happening, stuff going across the screen. Mm-hmm. Superheroes landing, superheroes taking off, superheroes
Homelander.
scowling.
Homelander.
Yeah. Well, it's a superhero. He's a superhero, right?
Yeah, no, but this was being specific.
Oh, you're telling me you're telling listeners
Who it was?
Yes, good,
Homelander,
very
yes.
good.
Giving context.
Brilliant, I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
No, I prefer no context ever.
Well, but I normally live by my life by no context. I'll be in about 3 minutes. I'll be like, Ben, who's that?
It's my favourite thing. And we talked about Dave the comic guy, or what does Dave call himself now?
Harsh but Dave.
Harsh but Dave, yeah. He just loves it when you say, that guy that was in that thing.
You know,
Can you get there?
Thing, yeah.
A couple of years back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing.
And
Yeah.
Dave is normally screaming at this radio.
Yeah, well, Davey, still be a know-all, okay?
I liked it. What do you think, JP?
I loved it as well. You picked up on the point about there being virtually no dialogue.
Yeah.
A lot of what I would say animosity, lots of... it looked like the characters were going through a lot of pain. As I mentioned, Homelander, who is the Superman in this world, but is a very bad Superman.
Oh, he's a very, very, very broken person.
Yeah, but I think that's a lot to do with the fact that they're owned by a big multimedia company and they're being told to do things, and there is no crime and they have to make it all up, and there's lots of things going on. If you haven't seen the first season, I would highly recommend it. It's based on a comic, but you didn't like the comic.
Well, I read the first volume, and it was the first. I think it was like the book actually, so it's like the first 2 volumes collected in one. And I thought it was fine. It's different to the show. There are some things that are kept in the show, you know, Homelander and the Seven and all that sort of thing. But there are some things that are, I think, possibly from later volumes.
Yep.
There's also a character who turns up in the second volume where they sort of go to Russia.
All right.
Who I can't remember his exact name. I mean, he's just ridiculous. He's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. I can't remember. Basically, he wears an outfit and he's got a massive, massive cock.
Oh.
And he wears a very tight outfit and his dick is literally down to his knee.
Oh.
It's ridiculously dialed up to 11, and I think you would hate it.
Well, it's Garth Ennis, and I love Preacher. So...
Listen, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the first season. I thought it sort of spiraled a little bit around the middle, but it had a solid ending.
I smashed it. Loved it. Honestly.
Actually, I saw a deleted scene actually from season 1 recently.
All right.
Oh, buddy, for you.
Check out this guy with his bloody cardigan on being a bit of a jerk, eh?
So I hadn't said anything for a few minutes.
No, that's right. Well, you haven't got any. You haven't got. Yeah.
it-
This is our podcast. Continue, Ben.
It was when Homelander was a young lad.
Yeah.
Spoilers for season 1, but it was cut out of season 1. It's sort of demonstrating how he was sort of always a wrong'un.
Yes.
So spoilers for The Boys. Homelander is a massive wrong'un, and when he was a young man, he's been taught in like this facility by a woman who he says, you know, are you my mum? Because if you're my mum, can I give you a hug? She's like, well, yeah, you can give me a hug. And then he hugs her to death and kills her. But he knows he's doing it, and one of the doctors who's raising him is like, Okay, he's done it again. Get rid of that one. Bring in another one.
Was that a deleted scene? Because I do.
Yeah, I was like, God, that gives so much context to who this kid is. Who this guy is.
I thought I remember watching it, but it's on Prime, isn't it? So they may have had some
is.
extras. Anyway, it's brilliant.
It is.
It's
I enjoyed
got
it.
Carl Urban in it, who for me is absolutely hilarious
great
all the way
actor,
through it.
yeah.
Great actor.
It's not like your normal happy-go-lucky superhero type of thing. But yeah, I will watch it.
I will watch it as
Smash
well.
it. I'll
I
smash
enjoyed
it.
season 1. I'll watch season 2.
Yep.
I might even go back to the comic one day, but not soon.
So there was another fairly massive trailer came out that we wanted to talk about but didn't. Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah.
I can't do it. You can do the music better
I
than
don't
I
know
can.
what you're talking about.
The music from the
Oh, right. Okay.
I can't remember what the music is, but
Yeah,
it's
it's 80s
electropop.
music. It is,
It's
yeah,
brilliant.
yeah, yeah. Exactly that. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
See, I knew Ben was coming and swooping and saving.
Sorry, I didn't know what you're doing at first because you can't carry a tune.
No, that's
but anyway,
fine. This looks amazing.
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It really does.
I want everything about it right now.
And the Mandalorian is Maxwell Lord. No, I've said that wrong. You know, what I
Pedro
mean.
Pascal is
Pedro
Maxwell
Pascal
Lord.
is Maxwell Lord. No, sorry, Oberyn Martell, who
yes.
is the Mandalorian.
Yes.
Who is Pedro Pascal, the actor,
Is Maxwell Lord.
is Maxwell Lord.
That's
cool, right?
It just looks fantastic. And when I say look, I mean it looks fantastic. Every single panel, every scene,
It's bright, it's beautiful,
Exactly.
it sums up the 80s in so many ways. The track on the trailer, as you mentioned, which we bloody well can't remember.
New
Shock.
Order or something.
Yeah,
Go
it's
on,
New Order, I
Dave,
think,
tell me what it is.
Yeah, but it's
awesome.
It's everything I want from a Wonder Woman movie. It's bright and colourful, but there's danger and action, and there's love and comedy, and there's a brilliant villain, and she's lassoing lightning bolts.
Lightning?
Brilliant.
What? That's amazing, right?
Yeah,
That did look amazing.
there's a lot of lasso work in this.
Yeah,
How's Steve Trevor back?
don't know yet, do we?
Magic crystal that Maxwell Lord is holding.
Yeah, Magic Crystal. probably. And I think that will be tied into Cheetah as well.
Well,
Turning her into Cheetah.
Yeah.
Not Chitara, which
No.
is the cheetah woman
Thundercats.
from the Thundercats.
Yes,
Very
indeed.
good.
Here you go.
Cheetah in the movie is going to be like nerd turned into jock through some sort of powers.
Because she's going to go full cheetah.
Yeah, because she's full like wiry hair and big glasses, and then she walks into a party and she's all like sex on.
Yeah,
legs,
she's
you know?
like uber geek, isn't she?
Yeah,
To start
yeah.
with, like oversized glasses, everything else, like hair's not done right, clothes ain't right, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you see her walk into a dinner party, and you're like,
She's sexy now.
"Hello, doctor."
I love how colourful they've made Wonder Woman's outfit.
Yep.
It just.
Oh, I've got a question though.
Okay, go for it.
What is the Godin ego costume?
Well, it was in a comic called Kingdom Come, and it's just another warrior costume. I don't know where it's.
Does it
coming from here.
which enables her to fly? I presume.
What it enables her to do is look damn fine.
All right, roll your tongue back
I
in there,
can't.
pretty
I
boy.
can't. It's
Let's
Gal
go.
Gadot. It's. I mean.
Come on.
whew.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Yeah.
I don't know if Chitara's actually going to be a main villain in this, though, or if they're going to set her up for another film.
I think she's the B plot that will tie into it. You know,
She's not the main protagonist, yeah?
She's the Bane in your Dark Knight Rises.
But everyone thought that Bane was the main villain.
Ah, yes, and so everyone will think that Cheetah is the main villain.
But Maxwell Lord's in it.
Yeah, I know.
So?
I know.
Never know.
I know.
But, okay.
I know.
Do you think Maxwell Lord will have mind control
Yes.
abilities?
Yes.
Oh, my God. I'm so hyped right now.
James, for context, and this is a little bit spoilery, so I don't know if they're going to do it in the film or not.
Do I want earmuffs?
No,
No,
yeah,
you're
I'm
talking
gonna
to
say-
me.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
In the comics,
Whoa! Potential spoilers for Wonder Woman 84.
That's
we
what I'm
don't.
saying.
We don't know.
we don't know.
We
right?
don't know.
So in the comics, Wonder Woman famously snaps Maxwell Lord's neck,
Wow.
and it's on TV, and the world sees it.
She's not that mean normally.
No, but Maxwell Lord is mind controlling Superman to go and destroy lots of stuff, and there's no way to get to him to stop him. There's no way to get in, and so the only way to stop him doing it quickly is to grab him and neck
Break his
snap.
neck.
Yeah, it's a fairly standard trope of DC Comics and movies is the old neck snap. You like Zod in Man
Yeah,
of Steel.
yeah. I love a good neck snap.
Yeah,
Batman would have found a way.
yeah,
Batman would have found a
He's-
way.
he's-
Green Lantern would have found a way.
maybe, but they're dealing with Omax and stuff. Anyway, so it's a very famous comic panel from the beginning of Infinite Crisis, but it's actually from Superman Infinite Crisis, which ties into just beforehand. But the point is that is their iconic interaction, even though Maxwell Lord's been around for a long time.
Right.
So I'm interested to know if they're going to do that.
And-
Well, basically,
and-
she's gonna break his neck.
Yeah, and if she does, it has impacts on what people think about her, and maybe that's why she then does go away from the limelight, because this is set in the 80s.
Oh, interesting. So she could disappear because she kills this guy, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Oh, bad Wonder Woman."
But she's been in hiding anyway since the last film.
Yeah, because you see her like lasso and she throws her crown like a boomerang to destroy cameras, right?
Yes, that's
so
right.
she is in hiding to some degree. Anyway, interesting, great trailer, everything about it I love.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see it.
Are we all going to go and see it together?
Yes.
Promise?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And then we'll review it after Nate's watched it twice.
Yes.
I've got no
Fine.
problem with that. I've got no problem with that whatsoever.
I'll probably come and watch it with you twice with different lenses on. sorry.
I just want to say right now, I'm really keen for some of the trailers that we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really keen
Well,
for this one.
the next one, we said this was coming. In the last podcast where we talked about this, we had a poster and we had a title,
Yeah.
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah.
And now we've got a trailer, and it's really good.
It felt quite eerie,
Good.
didn't it? Yeah, I mean, absolutely good. Although you don't like scary things. But you like scary things in Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters scared the hell out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree completely with you, but I didn't find it scary. If,
Oh, no, it wasn't scary, but it just had an
hang
eerie
on,
feel to it.
yeah, but you've got different levels of scariness. It's a bit like curries. I can probably handle, I don't know, a jalfrezi, but are you a
No,
vindaloo?
You're a
max out
Korma.
at-
You're a Korma all the way.
Not a korma. I max out a tikka masala.
All right, okay, so
Maybe a Rogan Josh.
all right, but so in this case I can handle more heat than you can.
Okay.
But if we take this analogy and put it into scary movies, I'm at the bottom, right at the bottom,
Yeah.
and then you're at the top. You can handle that sort of stuff.
wouldn't
You're
say
a
the
butter
top.
chicken on that.
I am
aren't
a
you?
butter chicken
I wouldn't say
with
the
no
top.
flavouring.
What's at the top of horror films? But what I will say is, you haven't even seen any Ghostbusters film.
Wow.
Why don't you take this A/B conversation and see your way out of it?
Oh,
Mate.
ouch.
Oh wow,
That's right.
I actually tidied my DVD collection over the weekend, and it's down there, still in its shrink wrap. We know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
We know what needs to happen.
I'm going to book the cinema for us to go and watch it together.
We
all
are
of us.
going to. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So the trailer.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the trailer.
Seeing I haven't seen the first film.
Yeah.
I thought this was brilliant.
Okay, cool. It's got a lot of nods and winks for people who are big fans.
Yeah.
Did you get the Spengler reference?
Yeah, because I've not seen the film, but as I've said before, I saw watched the real
Yeah.
Ghostbusters cartoon.
So you're aware of
I think we watched it together actually the first time for this, and I was kind of like, that's basically Spengler,
Yeah,
whatever
I
he's
think
called.
you called it. Yeah.
As his grandson or something.
Yeah.
But then I watched it again today, and there's two of them. I thought it was the same boy, but there's two boys with really curly hair.
Isn't one of them a girl?
What? I don't know. One's driving in the trailer. One's driving. Is it Eco One?
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
And then
Exo
the
one.
other
Yeah,
one's got-
there are three of them. You're right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know if there's some sort of link there. They've both got really good permy curly hair.
I wonder if one of them's Paul Rudd from the back.
I'm not sure, but
But it's
there we go.
it's definitely Stranger Things boy, isn't it?
Definitely Stranger Things boy.
Yeah.
And the Ecto One has a gunner seat.
Yeah. Well, that's.
That's so they can sell toys with Ecto Ones that have gunner seats.
I think it might have been in the original toy from the cartoon series.
Oh my god!
I think that might be where they're referencing that. Anyway, what I really like about this trailer is they don't show you very much.
Yeah, they don't, do they?
No.
It's all kept under wraps, and that's good because I don't really want to see any more until I sit down in the theatre and watch it.
Do you have any hobbies? I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
Yes.
What do we see in the movie? A collection of
Collection of
spores,
spores,
molds,
molds,
and
and
fungus.
fungus, yeah.
Love it. It's an Egon reference.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
won't get
thanks.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
there's not much else to say about it, really. It looks wonderful.
Give me the film. Don't give me any more footage. Give me the film.
I think people could be negative about it. They could say it's doing Stranger Things.
Maybe, but Stranger Things basically did older movies.
Yeah.
That's how that became. There's so many references.
Yeah.
Not that I've seen it, but I've been told loads of references to like the Goonies, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
That's what makes it great. So why not? And actually, I think there's a little theme running through our trailers, but I'll talk about it later.
Okay. Right, the next one. Now, the next one takes my breath away.
Oh,
But it actually does. Top Gun Maverick, which will from now on just be called Top Gun, because who can afford that extra word? So Tom Cruise is actually doing the flying.
Tom Cruise, man, that guy. I mean,
What can he do?
Well, you know, hold down a relationship with a woman. He is wow. I mean, The guy is an absolute insane adrenaline junkie. I do not understand how he gets away with doing the things that he does on the sets of the films that he makes.
Because he produces them, I think. He
Absolutely.
puts all the
how
money.
And no one will insure him, so he's
Yeah.
like, don't worry, I'll write it
Yeah,
off.
it's a good point. How will the US Army let him fly? How do they let him fly a plane?
I'm pretty sure it's the
to-
Navy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and-
that's what I meant. I thought I meant. Yeah.
This movie will have so many recruitment adverts tied to it. It will boost the Air Force and Navy like you will not believe. in
They'll probably be
America.
doing like day trips to Miramar.
They will. I mean, the Captain Marvel tied in to recruitment adverts for the Air Force.
Oh,
No.
gosh, yeah.
Absolutely, it did. They
Yeah.
had their TV spots all, and they had like Captain Marvel and in them, and then they had female pilots and acting in a heroic fashion or shot in a heroic fashion like it is in the movie, and then they had them as pilots in it. They 100% this will tie into that, and that's I think one of the reasons why it's being made.
If I remember correctly, the original Top Gun did not have the backing of, or if it did, it was very loosely of the Navy or the Air Force or whatever it was. And therefore it was quite tricky for them to make it. Now, I might have got that completely wrong.
Right.
I might have got that completely wrong. But I believe this time they have the backing. And from the footage that we've seen, it's evident because it looks stunning.
It does look stunning.
Well, they've upgraded. Times have changed, so they're
Yeah.
able to do a lot more. I suspect there's some CGI in there, maybe that might be helping, but it does look brilliant. I'm wanting some great lines in there.
Yeah, and I think there'll be
it's
plenty of them.
it's already hit.
I
You
want
can
more
see.
than just great lines,
No,
JP. I
hang
want a
on.
good film.
Well, I want to just carry on talking without being
Oh,
interrupted.
well, yeah, it's the bloody James show. I get it.
But in the trailer, there's a dude on the beach. They're not playing volleyball, but it looks like there's American football being spun, and there's pretty much Goose's son there.
Yeah.
Absolutely 100%.
Yeah.
Maybe even Iceman's son. I don't know.
Could be
But
a
there's
curveball, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same plot, right? Because we get the same scenes.
My question is at the start of the trailer they're talking about this brilliant pilot, and I want to know whether it's Maverick or not.
I'm not sure it is.
Because I don't.
Oh, something fell off your fridge.
Oh, that's the house ghost, is it, JP?
Yeah. Who are we going to call?
Me. I'll sort it out.
All right. Anyway, I'm hoping it's not.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's not.
But-
there's that wonderful line at the beginning when he says, I didn't think I'd be
Invited back.
And he goes, they're
They're
called
orders.
Maverick.
Little smirk.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe no. Viper didn't die in the film, did he?
No.
No, but Tom Skerritt is probably like almost 85, 90 years old.
Oh, I'd
now.
love it if he was in it.
They can make him younger.
Is he alive?
They did it in The Irishman. They can do it.
No, I'm sure. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, pretty poorly.
Okay.
Do you know what Goose's son, who's in this film, played by Miles Teller? Do you know what his call sign is?
No.
Gander.
Right, reshoot the film now. Call him Gander. That is superb. No, he's called Rooster.
Oh, nice.
I just saw something the other day where it was like a little clip on Twitter where they were talking about it, and he was Miles Teller, who plays Rooster, and they were talking about like some 5 IMAX type small cameras that they can put in the cockpit of these planes, and it's just so they can capture everything.
Is this out on IMAX?
I've got. I mean, it would amaze me if it wasn't.
This is almost a trip to London to watch IMAX.
Oh,
Watch
I
IMAX.
don't know.
Tom Skerritt is 86. Do you know what year he was born? 1933.
I
That
think the math on that works out.
blows my mind.
It's crazy, actually.
Sorry. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
This trailer. Oh my.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It was reminiscent of the old film, and who doesn't love the old film?
Agreed.
It's going to be just a little bit of stuff, tighten it up, but it's going to be a great story, and we're going to walk out of it and go, "That was a great movie."
Yeah, we're going to
Fact.
like punch the air type thing, right?
Yeah, I'd probably say you can be my wingman anytime.
Bullshit. You can be mine.
I
Yeah.
have a statement to make. I'm excited for this film. However, we have seen the potency and the apparent negativity that too much nostalgia can do to a film. A lot of people love Star Wars The Force Awakens, but said it was basically just A New Hope remade. A lot of people didn't like Star Wars The Last Jedi. A lot of people didn't like Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Too much nostalgia, too much fan service. So I think they've got to be very careful with how much it's callbacks to the original film, because they've got a whole generation of people going to watch this film who won't have seen it. Because it's an 80s film.
They
They'll be like,
will.
I'm not watching an 80s film.
Take your sour cream and pour it somewhere else.
I just think they've got to be careful with nostalgia. It's it's powerful, but it can be dangerous.
Have you seen Tron Legacy?
No.
So I think Tron in the 80s is overrated. Sorry, I think at the time it
Very
was
dated.
No, at the time it was revolutionary in terms of what they did with the animation, and it was very, very good sci-fi nonsense. I don't think it holds up now. Tron Legacy is a bloody great movie,
And no one saw it.
and it's directed by Joseph Kosinski, who's directing Top Gun Maverick. So he
interesting.
took an 80s movie, made a new version, which I feel is far superior. It's tarted up, but basically the same story. And I think that's what he'll do with this.
You're so knowledgeable.
He also did Oblivion. Have you seen Oblivion? Tom Cruise movie?
No, I haven't actually. But you've just taken my argument, scrunched up into a great big ball, and 3-pointed it.
From downtown. I
That's
believe
right,
it's from downtown.
Yeah, absolutely.
but-
I think this guy's got the chops. I think
Yeah.
he can do it.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm still going to go and watch this film. I just hope that they don't over-egg the nostalgia pudding.
And it's Jennifer Connelly as well.
Again, second time this podcast.
Yeah.
Roll your tongue back in, handsome boy.
I can't help it that all these beautiful women are going to be in the cinema in the next 12 months.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
She is.
Okay, moving on.
Hashtag break for cough.
Okay. Tenet.
What is this film?
That's the point, right?
I mean, the trailer looked fine, but then it looked like it was doing strange things that I didn't really understand.
Well,
Like-
Tenet is a palindrome, so it's like forwards and then backwards.
Yes.
So it's about some sort of the
MacGuffin?
yeah, it is a MacGuffin, but it's what's the direct, the Nolan hook in this is rewind time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it hasn't
Okay.
happened yet. So someone's.
Yeah.
I think sometimes Nolan can be a bit too clever for himself. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's good, but he does seem. Sometimes I think he ties himself up in a little knots. Just my opinion.
There'll be one big plot breaking moment that we'll brush over because there's a nice action scene at that point, which seems to happen in most of his movies. And I don't have an example now. I'm sorry, but however, and that's awful for us to badmouth his movies because.
He's done some incredible movies.
Dark Knight, Inception, help me here.
he's
Insomnia,
What JJ
Prestige.
said,
Yeah.
He's done a lot.
Yeah.
He has done a lot. Listen, his films are almost in themselves turning into event movies. Dunkirk.
Oh my God, Dunkirk was
What a
wonderful.
film
I
that
haven't
was.
seen that. Shock.
Very good. So
It's the only time I liked Tom Hardy.
Oh really?
And he had a mask on most of the movie.
yeah.
Did he? Oh, he had a mask on in Bane as well.
Yeah, I
But
know.
not silly voice.
No, not silly voice.
His movies are an event in themselves.
Yeah.
So I'm fairly confident that it will be a well-made, well-scripted, beautifully looking film. Whether or not the plot of it will actually make much sense, who knows? But it looked interesting. I'm curious about it, but it hasn't got its hooks into me yet where I'm salivating at the mouth. I'm looking it up online. I want to know more. I'm going to the Wikipedia page. I'm going to IMDb. I'm looking at every single review video on YouTube. I've not got to that point yet. So I'm not at peak hype mode for this yet. I'm like, what is this? I don't know what this is.
I agree. There's a couple of seemingly action scenes in it. They're very quick. A lot of it looks like what the new travel adverts look like for cities.
Yes.
You know, they're like, come visit, Boston
Singapore.
or something. Or Singapore, yeah. And it's just like beautiful panning shots of a building or a landscape. And it kind of feels like quite a lot like that. I mean, he clearly makes beautiful movies.
Yes.
Is it Wally Pfister? No, Wally Pfister died, didn't he?
No.
Am I making that up?
No. He's done a lot of work with Roger Deakins.
Oh, it might be Deakins. Yeah.
But he's also done a lot of work with Denis Villeneuve. So I forget who works with who, and I think they've all worked together at some point. I forget. I don't know.
If only there was somewhere looking it up.
If only there was someone
I don't
technology.
think there is.
I don't think
No.
it exists,
No.
JB.
I
I'm
think
honest with
you two will just pluck it out of the air in a minute with just
Yeah.
thinking about it.
I'm sure.
No,
I'm sure.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that podcast cardigan wearing boy is.
Well, actually, it's
Someone completely
Hoyt van Hoytema doing it.
Okay, click on his name.
Yeah.
I bet he's worked with him before. I think
sure
he
he
might have done
has.
Dunkirk actually.
He did Dunkirk and Interstellar and Ad Astra, which all of those absolutely beautiful movies. So and Spectre,
Well-
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and The Fighter. Do you want me to keep listening?
No, I
Okay.
think that's enough.
Okay.
I think that's enough.
No, maybe one more.
Go on. I'm sorry. Right. He did Tenet as well.
No, it's let the right one in.
Oh, is it? Oh,
It's that
is
famous one, you
that
know?
was it? Yeah. I think the trailer is intriguing because not a lot happens, and it's intriguing because of context. because we know Christopher Nolan, we know his movies that have come before, we know the quality of them. So that's why it's intriguing, but the content within it isn't that intriguing.
It's a little bit peculiar because you see things when you're looking at it, you can see the ship looks like it's sailing forward, but it's actually not. It's going backwards because you can, I think, because of the waves or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then I think there's a guy hanging off the end, and I don't know what's going on, but it just looks a bit peculiar.
Yeah,
but
there's like a car crash that happens in reverse, and they're reversing on the highway.
Yeah,
and,
so it's kind
But
of.
then it sort of spins backwards, but from a different perspective, right? And it's just like, ugh.
There is a bit where there's a guy kind of like Spider-Maning on the floor, like freaking out, and that strikes me that
Spider-Maning on the floor, freaking out.
Yeah, his like legs are going all over the place, his arms are going all over the place. It's like whatever ability that these people have has gone wrong, and it's like he's freaking out through time or something, and they're kind of looking at him like it's weird and then running away. So I think it would not surprise me if the first third of this movie was setting up the status quo of this is the power and this is how you use it and this is your mission, and the last two,
like Inception.
It's all gone wrong.
Yeah, okay.
How do you get out of it?
Yeah. And they get out.
Yeah.
Or don't they? Or it was always a dream and the top will always keep spinning.
Inception?
Yeah, Inception, yeah.
Anyway, fine. Maybe I'll see another trailer, maybe I won't, and I won't watch it, but maybe I will. I don't know, at this point, I'm Mr. 50-50.
I actually think this is one of those strong candidates for no more trailers.
When is it out?
July 20th.
July 20th?
No, July 2020. July 20th is a certain day. That is my birthday. But it's in July.
Have you seen The Office, the American Office?
No.
You just the way you delivered that was just like Michael from The Office. It was July 20th is a special day. That's my birthday. That was very good. Without you, if you didn't know or not. Right, next trailer. I haven't seen A Quiet Place Part 1.
Neither have I.
So Ben,
you?
this is all you.
Oh.
Have you seen Quiet Place?
Yeah. Great.
Can I just say, I saw this trailer and I was like, holy shit, I want to watch the first film. I didn't even know this existed.
Okay, so do you want to know what the premise is of A Quiet
Yeah,
Place?
basically aliens come into the world.
Well,
They've got hypersensitive hearing.
Don't really know if they are aliens, but yeah, they do have hypersensitive hearing. You make a sound that's above a whisper, they will hear it. They'll come looking for you, and they are like massive
aliens,
like, on all fours,
Spidery
stalking, spidery, nasty, big pincers, heads are basically entire ears.
Why are you describing yourself, Ben?
I don't know, because I'm looking in the mirror right now and I'm liking what I'm seeing. It's the first film is really, really good. John Krasinski is in it along with
Directs it as well.
wife Emily Blunt. Yeah. Is he directing this? I think he's directing this.
Let's say yes.
I believe he is.
Anyway, it's a great film. It's well worth your time. It's on Netflix. I think it was anyway.
Oh, it's not anymore. We checked this morning.
Bad times.
But why isn't it on there anymore? Because they want you to go and buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yes,
The
right.
sequel's coming out.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I will say is it is a good film. I really enjoyed it. It's not as scary as you think it's going to be. There are some tense moments in it, particularly towards the end. There are also some deeply moving moments in it
Am
as
I going
well.
to cry?
I got a little bit blurry-eyed, so you may.
No.
Well, actually, no, you may not. If I cried, you might get blurry-eyed.
No, that's right.
I got blurry-eyed, so you probably be
Can
all
I
right.
ask though? It sounds brilliant, and like I said, I love watching this Quiet Place 2 trailer. I wanted to watch it again. I was like, oh, it's good, but I instantly thought Walking Dead.
Well, maybe actually because from this trailer, yeah, the first film is all the family, this family, yeah. The second trailer, I mean, what I really liked is it shows you the beginning, like day one of the attack, and I was
can I
just
say
like,
that was
whoa.
that was epic.
It
I was
was,
kind of
right?
like, she's just driving a car and she's looking around going, hey kids, it's all right. There's people running around, mate.
Yeah.
Things aren't bloody well all right.
It's not all right.
That reminded me of Birdcage, which I have. Is it Birdcage? No.
Birdcage
Yeah, I have
is.
seen that.
Is that Robin Williams?
Birdcage wants to. Birdcage? No.
It's not Bird. It's Bird Box.
Bird Box. That's
Birdcage is Robin
Robin
Williams.
Williams,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. Well, good memory.
Based on a French film.
1990 maybe?
I don't know. I don't care about it. I just got the Robin Williams thing.
Okay, yeah.
Based on a French film. Birdcage. Oh, Forbes. Anyway, it's the second film is
96. God, I was 6 years out.
Let Ben talk, please.
Bird Box. Bird Box.
Yeah,
Basically,
Bird Box.
It's the film. It wants to be what A Quiet Place is.
Sure, but that opening, well, there's the beginning of Bird Box, or not beginning, the bit where you see it all happen,
Yeah.
is
what happens at the start of
So
this trailer.
one, so there's some sort of like feeding into each other about.
I guess, yeah. But I mean, this then picks up after the original film ends.
Yes.
And they're wandering, and they are finding other people. So that's where I can see James is thinking about The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So it's making the world that is the A Quiet Place world bigger. I get that. They're going to find that some of those people are absolute monsters now.
But that for me is exactly what The Walking Dead is.
Yeah,
all about.
yeah,
They're
absolutely.
they're creating now. They've something bad has happened. Some sort of disaster, whatever it is. Aliens, whatever you want to call it, have come in. They've split everybody up. No one knows what's going on. There's obviously no news, music, whatever it is. Blah blah blah. And now they've got to find survivors. And there's going to be some horrible people out there, like a Negan. But I'm going to ask you. No, you haven't seen the first film, and you know what I'm like. I love to know. I might take this offline and have a conversation with you.
Well, I think the strength of this movie, and possibly the strength of the sequel, is will deliberately take from the strength of the Walking Dead show and the comic book. The comic book and the show are billed as zombie horror books or TV programs, but they are not. They are survivalist horror programs or books. It's what happens when the world ends. Who do we become as a society? And basically, when society breaks down and there are no rules, what would you do to survive? And The Walking Dead paints that in absolute glowing colours, is that people will do anything to survive. Mm-hmm. They absolutely will. And I think that's what this film is going to explore.
Well, you've got two outstanding actors there to support Emily Blunt, who's also an outstanding actor. You've got Cillian Murphy, and you've got Digimon Honsu. I always pronounce his name wrong. Traditionally, I would say Cillian Murphy plays not nice chaps.
Shitbags.
Yeah, and Digimon Honsu plays
He's a dude in
fairly
Peaky Blinders, isn't he?
Yes.
Peaky fucking Blinders.
Yeah. Whereas Digimon plays quite nice characters, I would say, generally speaking. I wonder if this film's going to turn that on its head, because it seems like in the trailer, Cillian is the one that is met up with and is part of it.
And might be a nice guy, but might not be a nice guy. I think the quote unquote aliens in this film will be rather secondary as villains compared to some of the other people that they might meet. I could be completely wrong. I sort of hope I am. At the same time, I kind of hope I'm not.
But again, that's Walking Dead, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks the zombies are a problem. Actually, you can deal with them.
Yeah.
As long as you stay
what
quiet.
What you can't deal with is a bunch of people who are very organised, who come to take what's yours. And
Some
they've got
hillbillies
guns and all that
that
sort of
like eating people and stuff.
Do you know what?
Have I gone too far?
No.
I'll check this out. Is it coming out on Netflix or is it coming out on the big screen?
I think it's coming out on the big telly.
Is it really?
I think it's out on the big telly.
Yes.
Yes. The Doctor and I do that at each other a lot.
Little Rick and Morty reference there. Thank you very much.
Now, have you watched this next trailer, boys?
Yes.
I just watched it.
Doesn't it look good?
Nah.
Oh, I don't know either.
Gentlemen.
I don't know either. I've watched it. I had to watch it twice.
Should we tell the listeners what we're talking about?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Avenue 5, which is the new... it's sort of a sitcom.
It's HBO, isn't it?
It is HBO, and it's by the guy who I can never pronounce the name of.
Dave Smith.
Iannucci. Armando Iannucci.
Armando Iannucci.
Yeah. Who's an honorary graduate of University of Exeter. Do you know that?
Not that we work there or anything.
No, we do, yeah. I think it looks great. I think it looks like it's taking all of the sci-fi tropes that we go with and putting them into a
political satire?
Well, painfully awkward British comedy. I know it's American, but it feels like that British, because it feels like the thick of it, which is Armando Iannucci. Right?
It is, yeah. He is a exceptionally talented creator.
Yes.
And so maybe I'll give this a go. The fact is HBO as well, I didn't actually realise that. That means there'll be some saucy language in it. There'll be some uncomfortably funny moments in it.
You've got Hugh Laurie as well, man.
Yeah, I know. You've also got Olaf, right?
Yeah, Olaf. Yeah.
Josh
Gad.
Gad, that's the boy.
I think it looks really funny.
I watched it, like I said, I watched it twice. I wanted to like it because all the other trailers I kind of liked, but this is probably bottom of my list.
Okay.
Wow.
Probably. I don't know. What's the Seth MacFarlane's comedy that's set in space?
Oh, I know what you mean. Yes, I can't remember.
The Orville.
The Orville,
Yes.
yes.
I've not seen it, but I know that Nicola and Chris, that we have a whole podcast, rave about it.
I've seen some of it, and it's quite funny.
I don't know. I just don't know if it looks like a piss poor version of that. and I haven't seen the Orville yet. But I think that would be funnier. But I'm not sure.
But it's a different thing, isn't it? Because that's a piss take of Star Trek, right?
Yes.
Which is like far off in the future, whereas this is a piss take of a cruise ship.
Yeah, I know. I'm just.
Yeah.
I'm a meh.
19th of January, so we haven't got long to wait on that one.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And is that going to be on? What's that going to be on in
HBO
the UK?
Max, probably.
Sky,
It might be on Sky
Atlantic,
Atlantic.
probably,
Could be Sky Atlantic,
yeah.
or maybe it might be on Nate Plus.
Sure.
Oh, I like Nate Plus.
Yeah, Nate Plus
it's
is
a really
good.
service.
No, I don't know. I think the creator sometimes is a little bit lax with when he gets his shows.
So Ben,
It could be, yeah.
this one is all for you, Ben. This dropped today, and it's the Locke and Key trailer.
Yes. Wow. This ticks all my boxes. This is going to be my new obsession, basically. This looks absolutely incredible. I've read the graphic novel comic book by Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez. I think that's his name. It's probably not, but who knows or cares.
Who's here to correct you?
Exactly. No one. Good point, Nathan. Good point.
I might.
You're not.
No.
I've read all 6 volumes and all the other tie-in stuff as well that goes into sets in the past of Key House and the Key and the family that lived there. And honestly, it just looks absolutely superb. And like I said on a previous podcast, there are many, many keys in that house that do lots and lots of different sort of supernatural things, and they give people powers, or they enable people to do certain things, or become certain things, or maybe visit a spectral plane. Honestly, it is absolutely incredible, and I think from looking at that trailer, don't get me wrong, trailers are designed to draw people in. They are going to absolutely have a home run with this one, and I think if people watch it and love it, and then go and buy the book, this could be huge. Could be potentially as big as Game of Thrones was.
I
Because
disagree
it's a
with that
complete
last
story.
statement because I actually wasn't that blown away by the trailer. I think it looks fun and interesting, but not to the level you're saying. And I think that's because you've read the books and you're invested in it.
I am. That's true. I am invested.
But you've got if you've got some background, it helps as
Yeah.
well. I thought the trailer was confused. I didn't really know what was going on. It seemed to be darting all over the place a little bit.
Sure.
But that's not to say that I am disagreeing with you. Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. I think if you're a fan of the books, there's enough in that trailer that you go, oh, I know what's happening there and there and there and there.
Yeah.
If you're not a fan, if you've not read the books or listened to, because there's an audio book of it as well, actually,
right.
Nathan, it might be of interest, which Ben from X Geeks has listened to.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't read or listened to any of that, you might look at it and go, well, this is interesting, but I'm not so sure. But I think if you give it a try.
Yeah, and I love the line all episodes unlocking February 7th. So it's again not far away.
Yeah. Now, I'm a little bit against that because I'm starting to come around to the give it to me one episode a week. So if I binge watch it, I am worried that it's going to be here and gone. Whereas if it was an episode a week, like other programs have been recently, I think it might become bigger. I'm talking a Watchmen. I'm talking a Mandalorian. I'm talking
pros and cons to
whatever.
both, right?
Absolutely.
I think all three of us talked about this because I was a bit against having all the episodes. I think I was talking to you, Nate. I was against having all the episodes being released at the same time because I thought that kind of stopped the hype.
Yeah.
And I agreed completely with what Ben just said. Like with the Watchmen, it was Watchmen. It was brilliant because we were talking about it through the week.
Yes.
And it'd be like the next episode, and you have another conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
But as we get on to later with the Watcher. Again, what are you? I don't think we're
You put your teeth back in.
Yeah,
That's
sorry
right.
about
Got a
that.
speech impediment.
With The Witcher, I loved it. But I absolutely, one thing that I know about myself is if I like something, I want to see it straight away. And I would happily watch Watchmen all the way through. And I think that would give it a real... And I think the way it's written, it's a nice story that flows. But maybe in some episodes, I don't know, you and I like watching Ray Donovan. I don't think that would be the same.
What, week to week?
Yeah, well, no, just watching it back to back.
Oh, that's how I watch Ray Donovan.
Oh, wow.
I record it all and then binge watch it.
Oh, mate.
See, I don't think The Mandalorian would work back to back. I think The Mandalorian was really good because it was episodic.
Sure.
And it had the pauses.
Yeah.
I
You'd
think
always take a breath.
there are pros and cons depending on the show, depending on the world it sets itself in, plots, etc. Yeah, I
Whether
get it.
whether it's short form or long form, you can still have an overarching plot that goes all the way through.
We're getting onto a bit of a topic here, and I
We
like
are,
it. I should let people know what Lock and Key is. I'll get very, very quickly give people the premise. Okay, a family who live in Washington State, which is on the, I think as
West.
you're looking at America, it's the northwest
yeah.
of the country. They experience a tragedy. They move to Massachusetts, to Lovecraft, Massachusetts, where Key House is situated. It's a family home.
Nice.
And it's weird. It's a weird place.
We got a board game at Christmas called, I've forgotten. Doesn't matter. It's called something like the something horror. I can't remember. And it's a long game. It's like a 4-hour game. And I was looking at the artwork, and I was like, this looks really Lovecraftian, a bit like Cthulhu-ish.
Yeah.
And then we're like reading the instructions, it's like, in the Lovecraft universe. It's like, all right, okay.
Yeah. There's a bit of that in this, actually.
Yeah, I imagine.
Not too much, though. Not too much.
It makes me want to go back and reread Lovecraft, actually, like playing that game and seeing stuff like this. It's kind of like, well, it's gothic horror in its truest form. It's what's the guy that did The Raven? Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan
That
Poe,
sort
yeah.
of stuff, you know.
All right, I'm going to change my statement then. It might not be as big as Game of Thrones, but it will be as big as Stranger Things. There you go. That's my prediction.
It's the new Stranger Things.
In a way, yes, but it's very different. Anyway.
So we got 4 bits of news and then one final trailer now.
Wow.
Oh,
And these news bits aren't trailers. So we'll get through them quickly.
Rattle through them, Nathan.
Obi Wan Kenobi TV series is looking for a young boy and a young girl to cast.
oh,
Very, very likely to be Luke and Leia.
Yeah.
Why is that then?
Why do they want them, or why is it likely to be them?
Why is it likely to be Luke and Leia? Leia never went to Tatooine?
No,
As a
I
young girl?
think that's the point of the series. Is actually we always thought that Obi-Wan was there all the time. I think he's going to be off on adventures doing all sorts of things. I think he's going to be working with Bail Organa. I think he's going to know Leia. I think Luke's going to know him because Luke does know him in A New Hope.
Well,
I
old
thought
Ben.
I think he meant old Ben. He knows him. He doesn't go like, oh, that guy that lives over there that we keep away from.
And
he
he wears
knows
it.
him.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he knows him as like a friendly uncle.
You want a story of Obi-Wan Kenobi buck rogering it around the universe as an outcast Jedi?
Yeah.
Buck Rogering it.
Yeah.
Why, the
You heard
21st
me.
century?
Yeah.
Boogie, boogie, boogie. What's up, Buck?
And if what I've said is true,
Yeah.
I love it.
You do you?
Yeah, I do. Don't you? Don't you want to see Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi
Yeah,
across
I do.
the universe?
I
across
really
the
do.
galaxy?
I also want to see Jimmy Smits back as Bail Organa.
Yep. And
He was never given enough to do.
what's
ever.
his face has been confirmed to come back. I'm
Darth
doing
Maul.
a James.
What's his face?
The guy, you know, the guy that was in
Fuck
Thing.
off.
Okay, he was in Exodus, Gods and Kings, Warrior, Joel Edgerton.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
He's back.
The thing is, what
As
Owen
Lars.
Lars, yeah.
the trouble is, what you've just described there is a bit like The Mandalorian.
Well,
Hashtag,
why not?
hashtag spoilers, because
Yeah.
that's almost what happens.
But
He goes off. Everyone look after this. I'm going to go off and get some money.
Yeah.
Um,
But
I like-
kids
I
are
like
supposed to be- sorry.
I like your idea about him knowing Luke. I think it's and
Well, he
Leia.
does, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're aged 8 to 11 is the kids they're looking for. Blonde
Okay.
male talent, 8 to 11 with blue eyes, and brunette female talent,
Well, my
aged
daughter's
8 to
going to
11
be
with
8
brown
in
eyes.
February.
So you better
I
get her
could dye her
involved.
hair. It says talent. She's got talent, but I don't know in terms of actress.
Yeah, definitely.
God, but now, how much would you love me if she got that role?
I couldn't love you more than I do now, James, so...
Oh yeah, I reckon you could.
Right, next news story. MoonKnight. The MoonKnight TV show has been sort of rumoured and... has it greenlit? I think
It's a
greenlit.
Disney Plus show,
Yeah,
I
it's
think, isn't
happening,
it? Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's been
Sure, why
cried
not?
out for a long time. Moon Knight is essentially Batman for Marvel, but he has multiple personality disorder.
Or he doesn't.
Or he doesn't,
does.
and he's actually got superpowers. Anyway, the news story is that Daniel Radcliffe might be up for the role.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
I think
Because I don't
that's
know I don't know the character.
I don't think he's tall enough, but
It doesn't matter.
Who
Tom Cruise
cares?
is not tall.
that's true. That's true. Tom Cruise is a 5'6" man.
I actually think that would be quite good casting because I think he could do Mark Spector's torn, broken,
damaged
psyche really well. And I think, as Moon Knight, it doesn't matter. He can bulk up and then he's got a mask on.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
What do you
Sure. Yeah, I have still never read a Moon Knight comic book. I'm aware of Moon Knight comic books, and I'm aware of Moon Knight as a character, and I know that he may be or cursed or given powers by some sort of Egyptian moon god or something.
Is it Khonshu? I think it's Khonshu.
I can't remember. But at the same time, none of that might be true, and he might just be an insane person.
Yeah. I'm sure I've talked about this before, but the Bendis run on it, it was between 12 and 15 issues, and his multiple personality disorder manifested as Spider-Man and Wolverine.
Brilliant.
And he genuinely thought they were with him on his adventures. So it was a comic. It was like a Marvel team up.
Yeah. But it was all Mark Spector's
Spector, and it was all Moon Knight. So there'd be like times where he'd be like quite soft and caring and quippy, and then other times would be like really brutal and vicious, and that was his Spider-Man and Wolverine coming out.
Yeah,
and it was really good. It was really clever.
I don't know if Daniel Radcliffe can carry this off. Listen, this is just my opinion, and as we've all talked about before, and we all know, I'm an idiot.
It's true. It's true.
It is absolutely true.
All of it. Yeah.
It's all true. I don't think that Daniel Radcliffe is as good as an actor as he thinks he is.
Ooh.
Don't get me wrong, he's a better actor than I am, but...
Disagree.
Sure, fine, thank you.
You'd have been brilliant in the Harry Potter
Thank you very much, yeah. I
don't know what
round glasses. Used to have round glasses. Anyway, do you know who I can see as Moon Knight?
No, I don't know who
the guy who played Legion.
The guy who played Legion
in the X-Men TV program. He was also in Downton Abbey and Dan Stevens.
Dan Stevens.
That's who I can see playing Moon Knight, and that's the sort of actor who I think could carry off that role. I don't think Daniel Radcliffe can hold that person's jockstrap. So I don't know. It's not really for me.
Okay. Next news story.
Yes, please.
Fine, why not?
The Loki TV show might be looking to cast Loki as a young boy. Young Loki has been in the comics a lot in the past. Very, very popularly received.
Yes.
Well received. So they may be recasting him after he dies as a young male, 10 years old, British, open ethnicity, smart and brave, with a sharp wit and life experience beyond his years, is what they're said to be looking for.
So, okay, explain this to me then. So
Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston is in the Loki TV show.
Yeah.
It's where he disappears with the Tesseract.
Yep.
Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's the dead Loki coming back. So Tom Hiddleston might be playing...
I don't know what's going on.
Tom Hiddleston might be playing evil Loki because he's still evil at that point.
Well, yeah.
And then dead Loki, who's good, is reborn and is a young boy who is then your protagonist because he's conflicted because he's good. But then he's got his evil self coming and guiding him on things.
I don't like it. I don't know what's going on.
Too much for me to think about.
Yeah, I think you lost me at Reborn Loki.
No, I think it's
yeah,
I think
with
it's
the Tesseract.
Tesseract, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what they're perhaps doing. I think it's a good idea.
Let's do it. Why not?
Last bit of news before the last trailer. Wandavision is coming in 2020 as opposed to 2021.
Do you know what? I'm hyped for this show. I think this show could be absolutely brilliant. And if it takes anything from the Tom King Vision run from a couple of years back, it will be amazing.
Kevin Feige has gone on record, although he was interviewed on a red carpet, I think, but he still said it, that Wanda Maximoff is the most powerful character in the MCU. No doubt. Hands down. She was going to kill Thanos. She was about to kill him. And then he called in his army.
Yeah, she's nails.
So that is going to be important.
Okay. Do you think that's because she's going to lose her shit?
Yes.
Do you think she's going to create mutants?
Yes.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
And then it's all going to spawn something else, yeah?
Mutants. Interesting you should suggest that.
Isn't that? It's almost like I planned that, although I absolutely didn't. That was complete luck.
So there's a new trailer for New Mutants.
No, it was.
It's very MCU, doesn't it?
Is it? What do you mean by that?
Like the music's a bit MCU. It's like...
It's the same music as before, though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I don't think it is.
I'm
and
sure
then when
it
you see
is.
all the powers, and there's a lot more action in it than there was before.
It's very dark.
Confident it's the same music as the first trailer, but I still thought it looked good.
Wouldn't surprise me if they use this as their gateway into mutants in the MCU.
Or whilst I respect that point of view, or they release it, it bombs, they sweep it under the carpet and start again.
Well, yeah.
Either way, it's coming out. And I, for one, saying it's about damn time.
It looks all right.
Wasn't it originally going to be released 2 years ago? Or maybe 3 years ago it was filmed, or 2 years ago it was going to be released?
The first trailer came out in October 2017.
So, sure, yeah. 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Almost.
Do you think it looks all right?
Well, like I said, it looks really dark, and it doesn't look like a normal Marvel film.
No.
You know, this is something well, I'm just trying to go through my brain quickly. Can't think of another one like it. You know, where it is really, really dark and set in sort of it just feels creepy as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about it. It feels more like a horror film. That's what horror rather than the superhero genre that I think about.
I thought those elements were toned down in this trailer as opposed to the trailer that came out in 2017 where that was dialed up.
Yeah.
You know, they even called what they're living in as a haunted house.
I wonder if they've done any reshoots or anything. I
think they did extensive reshoots, didn't they?
No, I meant like...
Oh, as Marvel, since Marvel bought... Oh, so
yeah, or at least
Disney
in the
Fox.
past, say, 6 months or something, where they've done anything to kind of like just crowbar it ever so slightly more toward, or more awesome editing at least, crowbar it slightly more towards a superhero element rather than the horror element. Because I think you're right, James. It does feel horror-ish, but again, I think you're right, Ben. It looks a lot less horror than it did.
Okay.
With the right editing and the right music, you can make a horror film look like a superhero film,
Yeah.
or vice versa. So, you know, and we've seen it on YouTube 1,000 times where, you know, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, but it's a horror.
Yeah.
And they replace all the nice Gangsters Paradise music with something horrifying.
Yeah. And they're like rom-coms that turn into
Yeah,
like,
that
stalker
sort of
movies.
thing, yeah.
I'll watch it though.
Do you know what? I will.
Will you watch it?
I'm not sure.
We'll go about it then, JB.
But what's interesting is that we want to watch it, and we didn't want to watch and haven't seen the Dark Phoenix saga.
No.
Which just looked
Meh.
boring.
Well, that's because it probably, and it was.
Yeah.
Crap.
That's what the word on the street is. That's the end of the news. I mean, it's like it's taken us an hour to do the news.
Well, it's
Okay,
good
well,
news though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was all news. It's all news.
Yeah.
All day.
Well, let's just sum up the podcast at the end with a bit of Nerdscene then.
Nerdscene.
So this is Nerdscene.
Right.
Do you need me to explain? Oh, it's new year, new us. Ben, do you want to know what Nerdscene means?
Can you do it in less than 400 words?
Probably not.
Oh my god. Okay.
The stuff that we've watched. I feel bad.
Go ahead.
Okay, so how do you want to do this? Because we've got a list each. Should we do one each at a time?
Oh, I thought you were actually going to explain what Nerdscene is.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing it. Done.
Just doing it. All right.
Done
okay.
for the year. That's it.
My Paddington hard stare set you straight. Good. Go through your list.
Okay, so we had a bit of a Christmas movie watch over the break.
Because it was Christmas?
It was, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And we watched some right classics, in my opinion. Indiana Jones The Last Crusade is an absolute cracker.
Is that the one with Sean Connery?
Yes.
Is it the
Love
best Indiana Jones film?
Absolutely it is.
100% agree.
Yes.
Oh.
There's only like 8 years between them or something, or 12 years between them or something.
Yeah.
They could not be father and son.
Yeah.
But it's brilliant.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
Let's not go into the plot. It's
No.
just enjoyable.
It is thoroughly enjoyable. You're right.
so-
It's dumb in every way,
Rollicking
actually.
adventure. Yes.
And Last of the Mohicans. Have you guys seen The Last of the
I
Mohicans?
Is that
have.
with Daniel Day-Lewis?
Yeah, it is with Daniel Day-Lewis.
I think I've watched it, but a long, long time ago.
It's Michael Mann, isn't it?
It is Michael Mann,
is
yeah.
epic.
It's epic, you're
Yeah,
right.
is
The
it-
music is fantastic.
Yeah.
Trevor Jones. And interestingly, we then watched Cliffhanger
What,
not
Slice
long
Stone?
after. Yeah, and
Brilliant.
the music in that is it's a little bit reminiscent of Last of the Mohicans. We were watching it, and we'd only watched Last of the Mohicans recently, a couple of days before. We were like, this sounds. Da, 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 da.
That's
Yeah.
Last of the Movie.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But that is in Cliffhanger. And I was like, that's really weird. IMDb. Same bloody composer.
Same bloody composer, mate.
It was like 1 year apart. Like, he obviously had been working on that, and they were like, can you do this? Like, we use that.
Sure. Take some of this. Is that all right? That'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
I really like Cliffhanger as well. Again, super dumb.
Oh, it's super dumb, but brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. I got seasons 1 and 2 of Rebels. Star Wars Rebels on Blu-ray, and I have been working my way through them. I've had to pause though because I've decided I want to watch Clone Wars, which comes beforehand.
Okay. Question, Ben. Being a father, at what age do you think children can watch Rebels?
Oh.
There is a little bit of darkness in there, isn't there?
Yeah, I'd probably say double figures.
Okie dokie.
Maybe 10.
Fine.
Yeah, why not?
There's some Sithy stuff.
There's some what?
Sith-y stuff.
Okay.
It gets a bit dark.
Yeah, there's a couple of dark.
All right.
Don't get me wrong, it's not all like that.
All right. Well, shall I? The reason I asked the question, can I just quickly dive into something that I've watched?
Please do.
So we, as a family, watched the Lego Movie, and the kids absolutely loved it. And so then I knew that Batman, Lego Movie Batman is on, and so they watched that. And as we were looking through Netflix, we found Lego Avengers.
Amazing.
And lots of Black Panther, and it's like 22-minute episodes.
Right.
My kids have watched that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my eldest said something to me about watching it, and I because I asked her, I said, "Are you enjoying this?" And because the one I was talking about was, I think it was Avengers Ultron, and it was actually matched some of the film. And I said, "Are you scared about it?" Because Ultron was basically controlling Iron Man,
Yeah.
making him do things that he didn't want to do, lots of punching, kicking, and stuff like that. And she said, "No, it's not scary, Daddy. It's Lego."
Yeah, but
So-
Rebels is not Lego.
But my point is how she's perceiving that. So if I was obviously to put her in front of Avengers Ultron, the human film, it's completely different, and
Scary,
it made me think about the Uncanny Valley, and I didn't know if there was any linkage to that.
Yeah.
So how children interpret things and how they're presented to them, I thought was quite interesting. It's not something that I'd really thought about, and that's why I asked the question, because Rebels is a cartoon.
Yes, sure, and it's a really valid question. The beginning of Rebels has a feel about it of a bit childish because it looks like that. Then they start to deal with some more adult themes, and you almost forget you're watching a cartoon, which is why I think it's so strong. So it's probably not right for your kids.
And then that also links in. We watched A Good Dinosaur.
Oh yeah.
And I was watching it with Lois, my youngest, and she actually started crying, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
That's a devastating film.
It is, but I've watched films before with Isla, my eldest, and she's never got like that emotional, and I was kind of like, "Oh my god, that's really touched a chord with her." So I need to be careful.
Yeah. So check with your nerd friends.
Yeah, that's right. Geek it out. Sorry.
I'll drive through some of these quite quickly. I finished the Wheel of Time book 2, The Great Hunt. I found it slow to begin with, and then the last six chapters, the hairs on the back of my neck were standing up the whole way through.
So this is becoming a
TV
Amazon
show.
Prime
Yes, it
TV
is.
show?
Yeah.
This year or next year?
It's probably 2021, to be honest.
Okay.
It's a way off. But yeah, this was absolutely brilliant. I've got the first 10 books. I bought them from eBay as a box set, and I will be reading them interspersed with my other books that I've got on the go, which is interesting because I'm now reading Song of Achilles. Do you remember I raved a little while back about a book called Circe?
Yes.
Which is being made into a TV show
It's
as
the
well.
Iliad, isn't it? But from obviously by a different writer.
Well,
and
Circe is a minor character in the Odyssey.
Okay, yeah.
And Song of Achilles is about a minor character in the Iliad.
There you go.
It's about Patroclus, who is Achilles'
cousin / lover.
Yeah, something like that. I'm about.
It's all right. They were like Greeks, you know, and it was a long time ago.
I'm about a third of the way through, and it's all about him from a young age, and it's a romance, and it's fantastic. I'm really loving it. I'll have finished it by Sunday.
The woman who wrote the books appeared on an episode of Imaginary Worlds.
She did indeed. Yeah,
and I remember listening to that and thinking, "My God, she's brave," and "My God, she's landed it." So yeah,
and so I genuinely recommend anyone who wants a gripping, quick read that's rich in myth and magic, but also emotion and sex and adventure. Circe and Song of Achilles are fantastic. I recommend them. I also read volumes 4 and 5 of Transmetropolitan. Every time I pick one of those graphic novels up, I somehow end up on the last page. It's just they're so good. So I have to pace myself with them.
Yeah.
As soon as I pick it up, I've read it.
You're burning through them.
Yeah, there's only 10, and I've got all 10, and they're sat on my shelf. Thank you.
That's all right, Bev. I bought him number 10 for his birthday.
I know you did.
So they're brilliant, and if people don't know what they are, they're It's a Warren Ellis version of the future. It's about a reporter, and the ongoing story at the minute is about an election, a presidential election.
Oh.
It's incredibly contemporary.
Yeah.
It's so
The best
relevant.
moments are.
It's so relevant. Yeah, there's so much in there that's like, oh, that is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good. I'll keep rattling
Rattle
through
through
this.
it, bro.
Keep
You
on
rattle
going,
through
mate.
it.
Watch Death of Stalin.
This is Armando Iannucci.
It
isn't
is
I've
Armando
not seen
Iannucci.
this, but I've seen the trailer and thought that looks really interesting.
It's excellent.
So it's
excellent.
it's a satire with British or American actors
Yeah.
playing Russians when
Yeah.
Stalin dies, and they all sound like they're from the north.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
The I would say star of it.
Jason Isaacs.
No, he's only in it for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, you're being that guy. Come
I
on,
am being
do
that
your
guy.
homework.
Friend.
No, I am.
Steve
I'm sorry.
Buscemi.
No, it's
Whitehouse.
Simon Russell Beale, right? He's a British actor. And I was watching the whole all the way through. I was like, how do I know this guy? How do I know this guy? And he's been in a lot of stuff. He's done a lot of Shakespeare and stuff. But in Death of Stalin, he's bald and clean shaven. But he played Falstaff in The Hollow Crown, which is an adaptation of Shakespeare's Richard II. Sorry, yeah, it was Richard II, and then it was Henry IV and Henry V. And he's Falstaff in all of those. And he steals the show in those, and I loved those. I like. There was Tom Hiddleston plays Henry in it.
Cool.
And so watching this, I was like, how do I know this amazing actor who's amazing?
It's the same guy.
And it's the same guy.
Brilliant.
And yeah, it's funny and tragic and wonderful. Everyone should watch it. Because he's also got the new Dickens movie out. David Copperfield?
Oh,
Armando
okay.
Iannucci's done
Yeah.
David Copperfield, which looks really good. It's-
Armando Iannucci has done David Copperfield.
Yes, indeed.
Shut up.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Okay.
Rick and Morty season 4, you've seen all of that?
I have.
I-
First half of season 4. 'Cause
Yeah.
They've stopped, haven't they? Yeah.
Caught up with that. Really enjoyed it, really a lot. The one I didn't enjoy, I enjoyed at the end.
Is that the heist one?
Yeah, it was the heist one.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
it was dumb and dumb and dumb and dumb, and then the joke pays off at the end.
Yeah. So good.
Weirdly episodic. I was expecting
Yeah.
more of a. I was expecting like Evil Morty.
Well, I think, yeah, but Evil Morty only ever rocks up in the occasional episode. He's
Sure.
never all the way through.
But then in season two had that thread to
Sure.
some degree,
Yes,
and
it
then
did,
the
yeah.
last episode is kind of like, and then through season 3 has got
I suspect that maybe the second half of season 4 might have some Evil Morty, maybe more of a thread. They'll pick some stuff up. There's that stuff of that. Is it the talking rabbit that talks to Jerry? Is it a rabbit?
yeah, something like that.
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God.
Talks him into doing things. And,
Yeah. And then Rick looks at what he really is and what he's really doing, and he's like,
they
"Oh my
vomit,
god!"
don't they?
and
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
oh, it's-
There's some great memes of that. Have you seen them?
no.
So there's memes of Jerry looking in and then throwing up, and then it shows the next panel of something awful, and like that something awful is something objectively awful, you know.
right,
And so
okay.
it's like kids raving, or it's all like, or Greta Thunberg, yeah, who's
yeah.
obviously not awful, but
Obviously,
from a memes
yeah.
perspective, it's quite funny.
Brilliant. I loved it.
So the last 3 things on my list you guys have seen as well, so we can actually discuss something. But I got one last one that you haven't seen. I saw Jojo Rabbit, which is the new Taika Waititi movie. It's set in Nazi Germany, and it's about a young boy in the Hitler Youth, and his imaginary friend is Hitler. And in his loft, he finds a hidden Jewish girl, and his mother is played by Scarlett Johansson. And it is one of the most wonderful movies I've ever seen.
Did it make your heart beat?
Once or twice.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was really good.
Is it?
I don't know how else to describe it. Really.
Would you
very
recommend
good.
watching it at the cinema or just catching it when it comes out? Because I like a Taika Waititi film, but I don't want to be broken emotionally at the cinema, because I will die in floods of tears.
I mean, it's interesting. You wouldn't lose anything by seeing it at home.
Mm-hmm.
But then I would argue that the experience of the cinema, no matter what you're seeing, is worth the ticket price. So
And maybe I should go to the cinema and not watch a Marvel or a Star Wars film.
Absolutely.
Or a DC film is what you're saying to
we
me.
should perhaps go to the Picture House, which is an excellent independent cinema that we have in Exeter.
Sponsorship, please.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Okay, Jojo Rabbit, I'll check it out. People are raving about it. It's going to
Yeah.
win everything.
Have you seen the trailer for that, James?
Yeah.
Did you have any thoughts about it?
No, not my cup of tea at all.
I think you actually would enjoy it.
It's not a fast car or a woman with her breasts
no,
out.
James. That's not fair.
Or Top Gun or
Not
something
fair.
like that.
Not fair.
Flipping hell, he can fish all he likes. You can get out my house.
So these last three, do you want to talk about these last three together?
I haven't seen all of The Witcher, so I can't.
James, should we talk about The Witcher?
Yes, let's talk about it. Let's talk about
Gentlemen,
every
seriously,
single.
feel free.
Oh no!
Because I am going to watch it,
No.
but it will not upset me if it's spoiled.
I don't think you should have spoilers.
Okay.
So we've heard from our friends at Jack the Geek Stalk that they've read it and it matches the storyline of the first book.
Yeah, The
very
Last
closely.
Wish
The
or
Last
something like
Wish,
that? Yeah.
which you probably haven't got to yet. No, I wouldn't have thought you have.
No.
Whatever.
It's brilliant.
Absolutely fantastic.
We were talking about it the other day, and what I really love about it is I read this article on Twitter, but it was saying how it's not Game of Thrones. It's very specifically not Game of Thrones. People keep comparing it to it because it's of the fantasy genre, but it's, for me, it's not Game of Thrones in that Game of Thrones is earnest and honest, and everything that they say is on the screen and it's what they mean. Mm-hmm. This has that, but it also has Geralt turning around going, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And just completely seeing how absurd everything is for us.
Yeah.
And so it's another level.
And when he says it, it seems to take the sting out of whatever's just happened.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just kind of like, oh, it's almost like, oh, this has happened yet again.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
oh, you stupid boy.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you doing wrong? Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. And Henry's a beautiful man.
Oh, he's so beautiful.
Oh God, he's so dreamy.
Honestly, I'm salivating right now.
Yeah.
I wondered what he was going to be like in the role as being Witcher, and actually pulls it off really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% convinced by his voice dropping an octave.
You get used to that. I agree. When you first hear it, it's a little bit Batman.
Yeah, it is so Batman.
Yeah. But by the end, I think it's such a warm feeling when he does talk in that way.
Yeah, I don't want to talk. But
Henry Cavill, you can talk to me like that as the Witcher
Yeah,
any day. Yeah.
I don't think this is a spoiler, so I'm just going to say it anyway. But I think like you say, the character grows on you, and I think through some episodes, humanizes a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm done because I think if I talk any more about it, I might spoil it for you.
Okay,
Ben. So I'm not going to say it anymore.
I am going to finish it. I've done 3 episodes. It's only 8 episode season.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, so
only
5 to go. I'll smash it out. I'll do it in a week or so.
It looks wonderful. It's great. It's great.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
fun. It's fun. It's fancy nonsense.
So no spoilers for The Witcher.
No spoilers for The Witcher.
Good.
When he's watched it, maybe we can talk about it because there is something that I want to say.
Watchmen.
Boom.
What an ending.
Well, they stuck the landing on the ending, didn't they? Oh my God, how good was that show? I loved it.
Awesome.
And it was one of my most looking forward to shows of autumn winter 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I called it.
First time for everything, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a
First
first
time for everything. Wrong about everything else, but
Yeah.
gets one thing right. Thinks the sun
Thinks his
shines
shit's
out.
made of
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah.
I
Still a
actually
shit.
wasn't. Yeah, I actually wasn't that looking forward to it, but yeah, it was.
I would say that I wasn't looking forward to it. From my perspective, I was a bit worried that there felt like there was hype about it, and all I knew about was the movie.
Right.
And when I first watched the movie, I didn't really enjoy it that much. And then before I watched the series, I watched the movie again, and I did an 8. That's what I did. We've just coined a phrase. I think I've just coined a phrase. Hashtag did an 8.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Love it. That's great.
But yeah, there's
No spoilers for it because people might not have watched it, but it.
bullshit. They must have.
Wow.
I think everyone in the world has watched it, but you're right. I might not have. I will do one spoiler.
Go on then. One spoiler for The Watchmen.
The inclusion of Dr. Manhattan in everything that he is in, the entire portrayal of him,
Yes.
is excellent.
Yes.
It's
Absolutely.
so well handled, so true to the comic, but fresh as well.
Yep.
Very good. That actor is outstanding.
Yep.
Do you want a sequel?
Nope.
Nope.
No, one and done. Done. Out.
Yeah, me too. I don't think Damon Lindelof wants to come back and do a sequel, but I'm
Good.
pretty confident HBO want more.
Yeah, well, that
It's
was.
going to make him money, isn't it?
Yeah, that's no.
The thing is, if they come back and they screw it, then all that good work is out the window, and you'll just somewhere, sat in his cave. I forgot the name. The original Watchmen writer for
the Warlock.
the Warlock himself is just going to be sat there with his hands
can't
like
remember
this,
his
going,
name. I can't
"I
remember
told
his
you
name.
so." In his Brummy accent, Alan Moore.
Alan Moore, well done. Yes.
Anyway, Watchmen.
Alan Moore.
I loved it. It was great. Well done, Damon Lindelof. You stuck the landing, my friend.
I think I think it would be a lot braver to not do a season 2.
I agree.
Yeah, it would. It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. Leave it at that. Don't do anything else. Come back to it in 30 years and do something else with someone else. Maybe.
Although I would like to see a Night Owl series. Night Owl in jail. Because that's where he's been. He's been in jail.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. But
You know,
but Lindelof wouldn't do it.
You know
so.
how he went to jail, don't you? You were reading that
No, I
PTpedia
didn't.
stuff?
That was him, wasn't it? That PDP.
Yeah.
That was him,
It was
Slippery
the
Man.
silvery guy, Slippery Man, yeah. Night Owl and... for God's sake, what's she called? Laurie, when she's dressed up
Silk
as...
Spectre.
Silk Spectre. Or Silk Spectre, whatever. They stopped the one of the bombers in the 90s who blew up that government building. I can't remember which one it is.
All right.
Doesn't matter. They stopped that from happening, but they were arrested and he was put in jail and she did a deal and then she works for the FBI. There you go. But a second season that explored what happened to Night Owl and all the turmoil he's had to go through, and then maybe he's released and it coincides with the ending of season 1 or something like that. That could be fun.
I still don't think it would be as intriguing as season 1, but it would.
No, I don't see how it could be
fun.
Yeah, sure.
And the last one on my list is The Mandalorian, which we all watched, and it was great.
We can't spoil this because it's not officially out in the UK yet. Obviously, we watched it because Disney Plus were kind enough to give us previews of it, of all...
8 plus,
Yeah.
Of all 10 episodes? 9? 8? Doesn't matter.
Yes, no one's here to stop
Of all episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were a couple of episodes that were a little bit plot of the week.
Yeah, I agree.
But ultimately, I think maybe if it's 8, 6 of the 8 or 5 of the 8 were absolutely brilliant. And even one of the one on the no spoilers, but the one on the ship where they have to fly in cleverly. The droid's got to fly and they've got to get off the ship to do that thing.
Yeah, that was actually weak, but it was the better of the
really
weak
liked
ones.
it.
I think it was the best of the weak ones.
Yeah.
What weekly Star Wars? That's what we want.
Exactly.
Do we not want that?
Yeah,
That's exactly what we want.
I think I read earlier in the week that people are cancelling their Disney Plus membership because it's finished, and they were like, "Well, I've got nothing else to watch."
Absolutely.
I've got all these movies on DVD. I don't need them anymore.
Yeah. I mean, there is a massive spoiler at the end, which we could talk about. No?
Don't spoil it.
Okay.
Let's revisit this in March when it comes out officially, March, April time. When it comes out officially, people actually watch it and then we can talk about it. Do it then.
And that's a good thing because we get to rewatch it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Okay. It was good.
It was.
Very good.
Very
And
good.
you're right. Weekly Star Wars hit in the vein, right?
Just
right in the
on it.
artery.
Just like, hit me up, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just going into this weekly thing again, I was listening to the Invincible podcast recently, and they were talking about when the Invincible TV show comes out.
Oh, yeah.
They were talking about whether it drops and it's all episodes or whether it's week by week. Now, I think Ryan said this, where he was like the host of, or one of the lead hosts of the show.
He's so dreamy. Love Ryan.
I love him. He's so great.
Yeah.
He said he wants it.
I mean,
weekly.
I love all of them, so yeah. But
I
he
mean,
wants it weekly.
he's no TJ, but you know. But he said he wants it week by week because then you watch the first episode, you talk to your friends about the first episode, you watch it again, you spot something you didn't see the first time you watched it, you go and tell all your friends, then you watch it again the night before the second episode comes out.
Yeah.
And it's like...
It's the water cooler moment, right?
Yeah. I want that. I want that. I don't want to watch 5 episodes the first night it comes out and like go, oh my God, have you seen Invincible the next day to you? And you go, yeah, I watched the first episode. Like, oh God, I've watched 5. Hurry up. We can't talk about it. I want it to be week by week and I want to talk about it with my friends.
Oh, do you know what? I'm so
It's
torn.
so difficult,
I'm so
isn't
torn
it?
on this because I remember watching all of The Walking Dead.
You mainlined them.
And I was able, when it finished on a cliffhanger, I just watched the first 5 minutes of the next episode, and if it met it, I was like, I can go to bed now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
done. Because that's what normally would happen.
Yeah.
So it is quite difficult, but anyway.
I think Invincible will have lots of cliffhangers at the end of each episode as well. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're digressing. I beg your pardon.
That's all right.
Right, are we on to me?
Yeah, I was still thinking about that week by week. I don't know. I'm torn as well.
I think this has got a podcast in it. Let's talk about it.
I agree.
And ask for people's views.
Sure.
Yeah, Ben, why don't you talk about what you nerd-scened?
Final Space Season 2. Have you seen Final Space Season 2?
No.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
It is incredible.
Like the first season.
Probably better.
Cool.
Because they expand a few areas. There's some timey-wimey stuff in there.
Cool.
It's absolutely incredible. I loved it. I loved it more than I loved the first season, and I loved the first season.
I will watch it. I will
Please
definitely
do,
get around to it.
because it is,
yeah.
I think it's like 13 episodes this time.
All right.
25 minutes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
If your heart doesn't break several times, you are dead to me, and I will never speak to you again.
I mean, even
Brilliant. This is a great way of getting rid of him.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
like,
yeah, just don't
we'll bring
watch it.
someone else in who's really
Well,
interesting.
Steve Huswaite loved Final Space Season 1.
Yeah.
Because he was chuckity to
This
me.
is
He
the
did
friend
that
of ours
to me.
from
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
have you seen First Space? No, I didn't think you had
James,
seen it.
I think you'd
I
like
think
it.
you would enjoy it as well.
I read the final issue of Doomsday Clock.
Which
and,
was okay.
It was okay. However, I reread all 11 issues that came out before the 12th issue.
Wise.
Like a couple of days before, so I'm fresh to the daisy.
Yeah.
And I think doing that increased my enjoyment of it.
We said all along it would.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is objectively a good comic. However, it probably isn't really a worthy sequel to Watchmen.
It's unfortunate that it had the delays.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate that it finished when Watchmen, the TV show, finished.
Yes.
This incredible,
And if you're
visceral
talking about,
experience.
Yeah, and if you're talking about sequels to Watchmen, Doomsday Clock, or the Watchmen TV program, it's the Watchmen TV program 7 days a week and twice on Sunday.
Yeah.
Doomsday Clock is fine, but it's some characters from the Watchmen universe meet a lot of the DC characters, and it explains what's been happening with the DC reboots all the way through, and the DC universe that they're in is the metaverse and yada yada yada. And
Sounds really confusing, is it not?
Yeah, I think it might
Hey,
be.
do you know what? You read it issue by issue with the delays. It is. You reread the whole thing all the way through. It makes sense. But it ain't as good as it wants to be.
I probably would enjoy it because it's Jeff Johns
You'll
and Gary
love
Frank.
it.
I stopped about 4 issues in because of the delays.
Yeah.
I think I'll probably pick up the trade when it's out.
I think there will be a deluxe hardcover edition
Yeah.
released within the next 6 months that I will probably buy.
I'm on that.
Yeah, well, let me read it then.
Sure.
Brilliant, fine.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, it's good, isn't it?
Oh my God.
Did you go
It
to the
was
cinema?
so boring and I loved it.
Oh,
He took us on a roller coaster there, James, didn't he?
I thought you were
Listen.
going to punch him in the face.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I didn't go to the cinema and watch it. I watched it at home with my wife. We rented it on Sky. Other channels are available, like Nate Plus. Go on, ask me a question.
How long has it got your Skybox for? Can you bring it around?
No, it's gone. 48 hours and it's gone.
So funny.
It was a fantastic Tarantino film.
Yep, he's best.
There's an awful lot of driving in it that is, even though it's boring, I still loved it.
It's just lovely to watch Brad Pitt.
It is.
He
deserves an Oscar for that film.
He's like the statue of David.
Oh God! When he took his shirt off on that roof,
You just want to look at him.
Fell over.
You just want to look at him the whole time.
My wife gasped. It was incredible.
He played Achilles in the film Troy.
Yes, he did.
So when I'm reading Song of Achilles,
You are picturing
I just see Brad Pitt.
Yeah, okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
Honestly, it's a really good film. I loved all of it, every single bit. And a lot of people, there's a couple of people at work who watched it at the cinema and said, "Oh, it's boring. Don't watch it. It's not his.
They
it's
don't
one
get
of
it.
his worst films."
They don't get it then.
I saw it and I thought some of it was a bit not slow. That's the wrong word, but I was like, well, if they'd edited out some of these 5-minute car journeys where nothing else really happens, it wouldn't be the worst thing. At the same time, I bloody loved everything because I just felt like I was living in 1969 Los Angeles, Hollywood.
And it's a tension builder. The whole thing is
Oh,
building all the way
God.
to that final scene.
And that final, okay, I know it's like revisionist history, and that final explosion of violence is just unbelievable. It's Tarantino all the way through.
And isn't it a wonderful example of Chekhov's loaded gun?
Are you talking about maybe something that fires?
Hashtag
fire?
spoiler.
And things like the dog and
Oh, yeah.
his abilities.
Yeah.
And it's just I'm sorry, it doesn't matter. But all of that,
What, you don't
when
know.
it happens, you're like, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
As opposed to what?
And what happens right at the start when he's looking at the person driving up to their house in their driveway, he's talking to Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
That's such and such. Wouldn't it be great if I met him at a party and I got involved? Basically, the entire film is what happens to get to what he wants at the start of the film.
Yep.
Superb.
Yep.
Loved it. And Brad Pitt, did he win a Golden Globe for it?
I think he did.
Sure he did.
We haven't mentioned DiCaprio, who is also...
DiCaprio is incredible in it.
Again, DiCaprio is a little bit of a Tom Hardy for me. However, in this, was excellent.
I know James hasn't seen it. It's not a spoiler. The scene where he's shooting the Western
Yeah.
and he gets his lines wrong and he goes into his trailer and literally melts down, then comes out and absolutely nails his scene. That little girl who's like a prima donna herself, that was some of the best acting I've ever seen. And he's crying. He's like, God damn right. It's just brilliant. It's so brilliant.
I highly recommend it, James.
Brilliant. I wasn't listening to any of it.
Okay, good.
Well, anything you just said, I don't know.
Highly recommend
Brilliant.
it.
The other night, after I'd watched episode 3 of The Witcher, I was a little bit tired. I didn't want to watch any more. So I pressed back, went to the Netflix homepage. Along the top there is an intriguing title, and it says, Don't Fuck With Cats, Hunting an Internet Killer. That looks interesting. I'll give it a go.
You love a bit of a killer thing.
A Netflix documentary about a true crime.
Yep.
Give it to me. I'll take it.
Lap it up.
This is 3 hours, 3 1-hour episodes. So 3 hours. I watched the whole thing. It is absolutely unbelievable what this program is about.
True
and
story.
It's true.
It's about cats.
It starts off, I'll give you the premise, all right? I'll give you the premise. A guy posts a video on the internet that shows him, and it's disgusting, but you don't see it. You hear a bit of it, but you don't see it. Shows him putting 2 kittens into a vacuum bag that you put the vacuum on, suck all the air out, and he kills them, basically.
That is...
He posts it on the internet. It's disgusting. This person is a monster. And a bunch of people who see it on Facebook set up a group to catch this guy, and they are looking into things in the room that they can see. His bedspread is very unique. The wall sockets, well, those sockets are only available in North America. Other things, and they track this guy down. It takes a long time, but they track him down. But he is aware that this group exists and they're after him, and he starts messing with them. Honestly, you will not believe it. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some scenes in it that are some descriptions of things in there that are very difficult to watch and experience. And if you are a super massive cat or animal lover, maybe...
Yeah, I'm not sure it's for me.
Maybe avoid it. At the same time, if you're a true crime fan, you will not believe this program.
It sounds like... as you're talking about this, I'm thinking I'm going to love watching this because I love this type of stuff. So it's not just got fast cars in or boobs in.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah.
But I can't remember the Netflix thing that I really liked. That was about the family. This is it. This is Dave's got me to
Yeah, Dave's got you. Yeah.
Oh, it's gone.
About the family.
And
think about
guy infiltrating the family and basically
documentary.
Yes. Mine.
I know the one you mean as well. I know the one you mean.
Come on, Nate, give it. Come on. Ben can carry on talking.
I remember my mum saying to me, "Have you seen?" And I went, "No, but James has."
But it was just about that. It's like that unbelievable type of thing. You just go, that can't happen.
Yeah.
It was something like Unbelievable or something.
Yeah,
wasn't
it was, but I just can't remember what the fuck it is.
Well,
carry on, Ben.
I'll tell you. Yeah, like I said, if you like true crime documentaries, you got Netflix. It's 3 hours long. You won't be disappointed. Just smash it. It's amazing. I also read...
it's Unbelievable. I'm sure it's called Unbelievable.
No, it's not.
Well, Unbelievable is a program on Netflix, but that's about... isn't that about a woman who accuses someone of rape and no one believes her, but then it turns out that it's actually true? That is something called Unbelievable, I think.
No.
Evil Genius? No. If only I had something I could keep going through.
Yeah.
Let me finish.
Yes.
I'm sure you'll find it. I received several comic books from members of my family for Christmas, so thank you very much. They're all lovely. They're on my Amazon wish list, which I prepare for people. You found it, haven't you, James?
Abducted in plain sight. It's come into my head. Abducted in plain sight.
Well done.
Yes! I've got 2 on the list that I want to talk about, comic books that I got over Christmas and read and have finished already. One called Rover Red Charlie, which was recommended to me on Twitter by a friend, and I cannot remember who it was, and I'm so sorry. It might have been Dan Burden, but I'm not sure.
Probably,
Anyway,
that guy's wise.
it's the story of the apocalypse from 3 dogs' perspective.
You love apocalypse stories. Oh, yeah, there it is, yeah.
It is absolutely unbelievable.
Well, it's Garth Ennis, of course you're
It's
going to
Garth
like
Ennis.
it.
Yeah.
It's The
Golden
Boys
Eats.
and The Preacher
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Glory, yeah.
Basically, it's a dog called Rover, a dog called Red, a dog called Charlie, and they can't quite understand what's happened to the feeders, which is what they call human beings. They're all killing each other or murdering themselves, and it's just like, well, what is going on? And they go on a journey, basically, to escape the violence of... Because they all live in Manhattan, basically, and they go across the country and meet other dogs and other feeders. And every time they bark, they are barking, I am a dog! I am a dog! So you could tell when they're barking, because they look like they're barking on the page.
Yeah.
And the speech bubble is, in bold, I am a dog! It's just absolutely brilliant. But it's heartbreaking, but uplifting at the end as well, and lovely and warm, and Garth Ennis. So it's also very crude. Like Red, his thinker is smaller than other dogs. So he was what a human would call maybe a dumb dog.
Okay, right, okay.
And every time he meets a dog, he's like, dude, smell my ass. How is it? And they're all like, yeah, it's great, dude. He's like, yes! It's just brilliant.
Very
It's
good.
absolutely brilliant. And my last thing is Spider-Man Life Story. So this is Chip Zdarsky and Mark Bagley.
Oh, Bagley's artwork is...
I knew you'd like it.
It's my Spider-Man. It's where I grew up with Mark Bagley in the Clone Saga.
So it starts in the 60s, 1966, I want to say, or maybe 67. Basically 4 years after Spider-Man has become... Peter Parker's become Spider-Man. And it is his life, but instead of it taking place over 60 years, but he only ages like 5 or 10 years, he ages 10 years with every decade.
Right.
So the first issue is the 60s, and it talks about the Green Goblin. It's the 70s, and it's like Goblin Jr.
Yep.
Then it's the 80s, and
It's got to be like
it's
Venom or something like that?
Venom,
Or-
yeah. Then it's the 90s, and it's I'm trying to remember what the 90s is.
Dr. Octopus.
Doc Ock is in there. I can't quite remember what the 90s is. It might be the Clone Saga.
Oh, yeah.
Then it's the noughties, and it's Civil War, and then it's the 10s, and it's something else. But
Okay.
what I will say is it is one of the best Elseworlds, I guess,
Yeah.
Spider-Man stories I've ever read.
Kind of like a what if you like.
Oh my god, it's so good. I can tell you what the 10s is. It's Doc Ock stealing a body and replacing someone. It's very good, but it's not who you think it is. Honestly, it's one of the best Spider-Man stories I've ever read. If you have a passing interest or an awareness of Spider-Man, but you've never really known where to start, this comic book is all you need. It tells you everything that Spider-Man has ever been through, ever, and it does it it's such a clever way.
Does it say when he turns actually into a spider and then he's reborn?
Actually, no.
Fuck it. Doesn't
That
say then.
doesn't come up,
Boom!
actually. That doesn't come
Where
up.
did that come
Neither
from?
does Black Cat. So that's 2 things it doesn't deal with.
I think,
But
that
deals with a lot of other
I think
stuff.
they might have retconned that out of existence. I don't know because
Well,
he did make a deal with
if
Mephisto.
I know about it, it should be there.
He made a deal with Mephisto that he was never married to Mary Jane to save Aunt May's life, and so he had a restart, and it was called Brand New Day, and something's changed, and it might have been in
Was
that.
it also to put the genie back in the bottle that everyone knew he was after Civil War?
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's it. Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, it's great. If you'd like to borrow it, willing to let you borrow it.
yes, please,
You want to borrow it as well?
Yes, please.
Yeah, excellent. No problem.
That's fine.
James. What did you watch over the Christmas period?
Well, we've already spoken about a few things, so I'll quickly run through Mando, Watchmen, The Witcher, Lego Movie and Batman version, Lego Avengers, Black Panther. You may be noticing a little trend here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
also
yeah.
watched Finding Dory. Actually quite like that.
I think I've seen it. Yeah, it's
That's
all right,
pretty
isn't it?
good. Yeah.
I've not seen it.
Yeah, it's really good.
I wouldn't say it's quite as good as Finding Nemo.
No, definitely not.
But it's funny.
But yeah, it's good. It's watchable. I've also watched The Sound of Music for the very first time. Never seen it before.
Really, the
Yes.
first time.
Yeah, I was.
A dear, a female dear.
Yeah, exactly right. I was hugely hungover on New Year's Day, And so was my wife, and we sat the kids down and we said, we're watching this.
You watched The Sound of Music on New Year's Day with a hangover.
Yep.
You are a hero, my
Mate,
friend.
You're
tell you
doing it
what,
right.
I couldn't do anything else. Let me put that to you. Let me put it out.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I did really enjoy it, actually. It was a great story. And quite hard-hitting, actually.
Yeah.
It was good. Also watched Willy Wonka, the old school version.
Oh, yeah. I find that a bit creepy.
It is very creepy. Willy Wonka is a creepy character.
Yep.
Yeah, it's that type of sort of like, you're in a sweet shop. Yeah, go get some sweets. Do you want to go into his house? No, just into the shop. Yes.
But did you enjoy watching it?
Yes, I did.
The original one is...
I think
it's
brilliant.
iconic, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And I've forgotten how much I enjoyed it, actually. Yeah. I also watched Logan.
That was your first time as well, watching Logan?
Yeah.
Just the film?
Just the film.
It's fine. It's just a film.
Yeah, it was all right.
I think it's really good.
It's good, but it's just a film.
I was upset. I got upset when Professor X got stabbed.
Have you seen
Spoilers
The
for Logan.
Wolverine, where he's in Japan?
Yes.
I think that's a better movie, personally.
What, the Japan one?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think they're both very good.
Yeah. That was quite... It was almost like a Deadpool version. Or Deadpool Marvel film. There's lots of blood and gore, lots of swearing.
Yeah.
You had Patrick Stewart, playing Professor X, and just the language that was coming out of his mouth was what you
he's
expect.
a frustrated old man who doesn't quite understand what's happening
going
to
on.
him. Yeah.
But it was I really enjoyed it. Very, very good. What else have I got? And
Silicon Valley?
Silicon Valley. Thank you. I finished that this week. Did full season, all done.
Yeah, I watched that
Completed.
this week. You watched it back. You binged it back to back.
Yeah, so we've had it recorded for a while.
Yeah,
and
so it finished just before Christmas, I think. Didn't it?
Yeah, and so but we smashed the last 3 episodes yesterday. Really good.
Is that the end of it?
That's it. All done.
All done.
I could watch it now.
It's very good.
I think. I mean, we've spoken about it before on the podcast. It's IT. It's apps development. It's bloody funny because we work in IT.
Yeah.
And just the stereotypical people that are in it, it's hilarious. And I thought the ending was brilliant.
Yeah, not to spoil it because Nathan hasn't seen it.
No.
It sounds like he wants to watch it, but I thought
Done.
the ending was absolutely perfect.
Well done. It was well done.
It was apt.
And today, whilst in the gym, on the cross trainer for 45 minutes, I watched the first, haven't finished, Jack Ryan, season 2, episode 1. It's Jack Ryan. It's the same recipe that you're going to get
Brilliant.
with,
all I want.
but I thought it was great.
Good.
Whilst I was sweating my ass off.
Yeah. That's what we said because we all discussed this. We've really enjoyed season 1, didn't we?
But
It was
it's
surprisingly good.
Yeah.
but it's kind of gone under the radar because there's been so many other good things out there, and it was. Well, I think we all raved about it. I think we all really enjoyed it,
Yes,
didn't we?
agreed.
I don't think season 2 got as didn't receive as glowing reviews as season 1 did. I think they said it was very much more of the same, or more of what came before.
Do you think that is, again, like you just said, like it's more because it's more of what came before, so we've already seen some of it, and it's come out in a period where everyone's talking about Watchmen, Mandalorian, The Witcher.
There's an awful lot of stuff out there.
Is it a bad time to drop it?
It probably was. Yeah.
And the other thing, I'm reading a book, which is the Harper Lee Go Set of Watchmen, and I'm really struggling with it.
I think you should stop.
I'm chewing through it, but
Harper Lee Go Set of Watchmen.
Yeah.
Haven't you talked about this already before?
I don't know. Maybe I have.
If you have,
I'm still going through it. I don't know what to do with myself.
It's a sequel to Kill a Mockingbird. Or am I completely mad?
It's her follow-up.
It's her follow-up, but it's not necessarily a sequel as set per se.
But it's got some of the same characters in it.
Yeah, it has, yeah.
Like Atticus.
But it's
Finch.
then got also bits before To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh.
But I think if you don't like it, stop. I genuinely believe it. If books
but
aren't good,
I
stop.
love so much To Kill a Mockingbird.
I know, it's a great story.
Anyway.
Don't have fear of missing out, JB. Have the joy of missing out.
Well, this is it. This is what happened with The Flash. Arrow.
Yeah.
I was just like, I need people to tell me, shall I continue to read?
We put it to
Ghost
the
at
listeners,
Watchmen?
didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Should James continue to read Ghost at Watchmen? That needs to be a Twitter
I think
vote.
if you're chewing through it and you can't, you're not enjoying it, then bin it, mate.
Okay.
There's so much more out there.
I want the people to tell me. Give it to the people.
Should he
Ben,
bin it
can
or
you-
should he carry on?
Can you set that up for us?
I will do it, yeah.
Okay. That's the end of the podcast. This has been a super long podcast, but I've thoroughly enjoyed having a chat with you guys about this because I feel like I haven't actually done this with you for a couple of weeks now, 3 weeks.
I can't speak.
Put your teeth in.
First podcast of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what a great one.
You guys might have to go solo on the next one because I'm away.
What do you mean you're away?
I'm away.
Oh,
So-
look at that.
Unless you want to do one
podcast
next
in
week.
And you've screwed the pooch.
Well, we'll figure that out offline. But,
Okay.
yeah. Ben, do you want to send us home with how people can get in touch and tell us what idiots we were as all the things that we've talked
Oh
about?
my gosh, we're at this point already. James, your watch is shining a light in my eyes. What's that?
It's a heart rate monitor.
Has that ever burnt your skin?
No?
Oh, okay, good. Anyway, what am I talking about? This is a Nerds Chatting podcast. You can catch us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. Just search for Nerds Chatting, all one word, Nerds, Nerds, Chatting, ChatTing. This podcast is available on Apple Podcasts. It's on YouTube, which is youtube.com/Nerds Chatting. You can find us on Podbean, which is our home podcast hosting platform, which is nerdschatting.podbean.com. May look into trying to get us on some other areas this year, like a bit of the old, what's it, SoundCloud or
nice, yeah.
Stitcher or
Yeah.
something like that.
All
I don't know.
that-
All
all
these
the
things
above.
cost money.
Yeah.
Maybe Google Podcasts if they ever open it up to people for submissions in the UK. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. That's all we can do.
What we should say, I think, is if you listen to this and you even liked it a slight amount, a teeny tiny amount, can you give us a review and tell someone about it, please?
Oh, that'd be great.
Because that's probably going to help us more than anything else in the world. If you just say to your mate, you're at work, just slide over to your coworker and go, "Hey, Nerds Chatting," and then slide back to your desk and just leave it at that.
Well, maybe you want to set any context?
No,
I
no.
don't like context,
No,
but
yeah,
do you want
yeah.
to set any context?
No, I want that.
Just say Nerds Chatting to someone.
Yeah.
Good, fine.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I don't think there's any harm in forcing people to Google things. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll either be back in 2 weeks or 3,
or one.
but probably 1 or 2. But we'll let people know.
Thank you so much for listening, everybody. Bye.
Cheers.
Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.